Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony Six Morning Show. I'm Tony T, and on our show today, we'll get you picks here from the NBA as well as college basketball. Wish we could tell you hockey. Let's get one of our hockey guys signed in, but I know Sean, Rod, and El Ninos weren't able to make the show today with the commitments going on in their lives, but no worries. We'll get you the hoops action for you here on the show today. Just a reminder with you here every day here at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time here with the Tony Six Morning Show. So we'll say hello to Chris and then get right to work with the pick. Chris, what's happening?
Oh, not much. Coming off a pretty good day. Barely cashed our best bet of the day with the over 238 in my Grizzlies and Rockets. They had 239, so we're thankful for that. And Grizzlies got the win, but was good to take the points with the Rockets as we always play them close. So coming off a pretty good day, ready to finish the month strong here.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I split the card yesterday. My best bet was Portland, so Portland continuing to get those wins and covers. I think it's a cover streak now of 6 to 7 straight. So this Portland Trailblazers team, keep an eye on them when they're all healthy and apparently buying into Chauncey Billups' defense there. And we'll see how that rolls. I'm still not, as I said, I still don't trust Orlando on the road. That's a team I just remember from the playoffs last year. They were fully healthy, couldn't get a road win in the postseason last year and had their struggles away from home. But Orlando, I like them at home. Long trip to make that trip from Orlando all the way to the Pacific Northwest as well. That's a long flight there. So I got the NBA there for you. Minnesota pounding Utah there. And, of course, you're seeing results in college hoops as well. So we'll get right to the NBA card here as we knock off this card for today. We'll start here with the first three on the board from the NBA. We got Clippers and Hornets, head-to-head. Clippers, big line here, 14, total 211.5. That total's come down quite a bit from the opener. Mavericks and Pistons. We see here the Pistons favored in some spots. One, I see Dallas favored in one of the sharpest books in the world at Pinnacle, but I'm seeing Detroit favored as well. This one has a total of 230 now is the total. Nuggets and Sixers. The Nuggets have crept up here, 9.5, total 233.5. Let's take a look at some of the injuries here in these games. We got Luka, Kleber, Lively, Powell out for Dallas. Ixom is questionable. Ivan, we know, is going to be out for a few weeks here more with that broken leg. On the Clippers, Charlotte game, Christie, Dunn, and Tucker out. On the Charlotte side, we know Ball, Martin, Williams out. Remember, Brandon Miller will no longer be showing up on these reports. He's out for the season. Josh Green is questionable. We go to Denver and Philly. Again, Denver has been pretty clean here. Just Concaro has been out all season in this spot. On the Philly side, Drummond, Embiid, George, C. Martin, KJ Martin out for Philly. Over to Chris.
Yeah, Clippers and Hornets, I know it's come down a good bit, but I'd still take the under there. I don't think we see much scoring going on there, even though it's low. We'd still take the under there and be okay. Pistons, Mavs, it's kind of a toss-up there. Probably if the Pistons stay as the underdog there, I might take the point at home with them. And then I might look at the over. When you look at the way these two teams play, Dallas with the Eastern Conference is 9-3 to the over. Detroit with the Western Conference is 8-5 to the over, so we may see some points in that one. Nuggets and Sixers, you look what the Nuggets do against Eastern Conference teams, and we're definitely going to go over in that one.
There from Chris. I'll tell you what I think here about this game. Yeah, I kind of with you here on this Clippers Charlotte team. How is Charlotte going to score here without their guys, with a lot of their shooters here out of the lineup here? I like the under in this game. You look at the way the teams play. Charlotte 18-5 the under at home. Boy, I wish I was on that one. There, we look at LA 14-7 to the under on the road. Here, Charlotte, really home unders here for them all season. That pretty much explains it here. On the Dallas-Detroit game, I'm going to look here at Detroit here. I don't trust this Mavericks team without Luka on the road. I trust them more at home here. We looked at the Mavericks here. They failed to cover 4 of 5 on the road. They're just 3-8 to the spread on the road against losing teams. Just Ivy out, so I like Detroit here plus the 1. I was worried about Stewart getting it suspended because he got a little tussle in his last game there, but it looks like he'll be in the lineup for this one. All right, and then of course in that Nuggets Sixers game, I got to take the points until Denver wakes up on the road. I know the coach Malone is probably not accepting this performance here from this Nuggets team, but I'm looking at the schedule here, and it looks to me that the Nuggets have played 8 of 11 on the road. And I think what's happened just kind of like we see in hockey with this LA Kings team. You come home, then you got a couple of road trips back to back with a short homestand. I think you're seeing a bit of road fatigue. You look at the Nuggets, 2-7 the spread on the road against losing teams. I think the fact is the Nuggets team has been on the road for a while, and I think Malone is just not. We've seen Malone when he has a temper tantrum, and I just think he realizes the road trips. This Nuggets facing a little bit of road fatigue. they've not been a very good road team out east. I've tracked them so many years with that. Nuggets just 2-7 to the spread on the road against losing teams, despite being pretty much fully healthy. Give me the Sixers that are showing some spark here of late. We look at Philadelphia. They've been shooting the ball very well. They covered 4 of 5. I like the Sixers here at plus the points. All right, let's continue here on the 26 Morning Show. We got 4 left in the NBA. So just knock them out 2 at a time. We'll just do 2 in this block. Bulls and Raptors. We see the Raptors up to 4 now from an opener of 2.5, total 232. Bucks and Spurs. We got the Spurs dogs here. Milwaukee 3 and total 233.5 in these two. In this 2, I'll give you the injuries here in this one. Looking at the Bulls and Raptors, we've got Bulls and Raptors injuries here. Let's see what we got from this one here. Okay, Chicago, no Levine. That's a big one. No Levine. Craig out. Horton Tucker, someone off the bench here, is questionable. On the Toronto side, Brady Dick, Olenek, Quickly, and Sheed are listed as questionable. Bucks and the Spurs. Looks like the Spurs, again, pretty much fully healthy. Other just Sissoko, a bench guy, questionable. On the Milwaukee side, Portis is out. He's their guy off the bench. Green, questionable. Middleton and Giannis will be probable. So there you go with the injuries for these two, Chris, in this block.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely look at the Raptors at home. They just play their better ball at home. With Levine out, I would rather back the Raptors in that one, even though the points are up to 4 now. Still think you could lay it with them and be okay. And from looking at the Bucks here, I did the YouTube video on the channel today, and what I was looking at is when, like if the Spurs cover, it's typically because they're an underdog and they just win. But if they lose, they don't cover. They're losing by big margins. So I think the Bucks are just a better team here. So I think they get it done and get the win in that one and the cover.
And there from Chris, tell you what I think here about these here in this block. I'm going to look here at Toronto in this spot. They've just been playing really good basketball, covering 5 straight. Look at Chicago failing to cover here 8 of their past 10. But with Toronto, they're getting it done defensively. Look over their past 4 here. At home, holding teams 102 points per 100 possessions. They have a plus 10.5 net rating here in their past 4 home games, winning all 4. And when you look at Chicago over their past 4 road games, they're just having trouble getting points on the board. Just 105 points per 100 possessions, a minus 11.5 net rating over their past 4 games. Raptors shooting the ball well over their past 5, 49%, and hitting their threes, holding teams to 42% and holding teams to 27% from 3. 5 straight covers for the Raptors. I'll look at the Raptors in this game. Also in this block, Bucks and Spurs. Until I see something a little more life out of the Spurs team, I'll look at Milwaukee. Milwaukee has rest. They were pounded by Portland, but Milwaukee was on a back-to-back, playing their 3rd game in 4 nights. Got a little bit of rest here for Milwaukee here. Spurs have failed to cover 8 of 10. And what's happened to the Spurs is their defense. You look at their past 5 home games, giving up 52% shooting, 43% from 3, giving up 128 points a game. You know, if you don't defend that 3-point shot for the Bucks, they'll make it pay, because that's one thing the Bucks do. They can make their threes. So I'll look here at Milwaukee in this spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tone Dixon Morning Show as we'll close out the NBA with the final 2 games. Celtics and Pelicans here. We got the Celtics on the road laying 11, total 232.5. Suns and Warriors, a late night game. Suns 1.5 on the road. Total 229. Let's take a look at some of the injuries here this early in the betting cycle. And what we have here in the Celtics Pelicans just looks like Horford probable, Sam Hauser questionable for Boston. For New Orleans, no Ingram, no Jones. Deese is doubtful. Hawkins is probable. Hawkins is questionable. Murray is probable there. The late night game, Suns, a clean injury report there for the Suns. Although there's been noise about Beal. I guess the word is he didn't want to go to Chicago. So there's some stuff going on with Beal there. The Warriors, we know, still Green and Kuminga out here for Golden State. So we go back over to Chris.
Yeah, look at the Pels Celtics. I mean, I've been following the same system all year. After the Celtics win, I usually fade them the next game, and that's been pretty good cashing because they typically don't cover the next game after a win. After a loss, then we definitely jump on board. So I take the 11 with the Pelicans there, and then Phoenix and Golden State. I've been going back and forth on that one. If I had to lean aside, I'd probably take Phoenix in the points. But I might lean towards the under. I mean, you look what Phoenix has done in the last 5 games, and they're holding teams to an average of 108. They're scoring about 108. I think the total's sitting at 225, 226 and a half or so, depending on where that's at. But I might lean under for that one. But if I had to lean aside, I'd take probably the points with Phoenix.
There we go. From Chris, say what I think here about some of these games here. Boston and New Orleans. Give me the over in this one. Boston here over in their past 5 road games put up about 114 points per 100 possessions. Look at the Pelicans over their past 5 at home, averaging 122 points per 100 possessions. And they played at a very fast pace here. Now they're getting healthy. We're starting to see that speed, and we're starting to see that pace pick up here for this Pelicans team. But, man, look at the Pelicans over their past 5 games, get 126 points a game. Look, if you're going to give space on the court for the Celtics, they'll run with you. You know, that's if you're not going to pressure the ball and you're going to play that up and down style, they can do that too. That's why they're the world champs. They can pretty much play any style. They're capable of putting up some big numbers if you give them that opportunity. You don't pressure the ball. You look at the Pelicans over that past 5 games, giving 48% shooting, 37% from 3. Pels 16-8 to the over at home. I look at the over there, Boston and New Orleans, Suns and Warriors in this spot. Yeah, I'm going to look here at the Suns in here. Warriors just 3-8 to the spread against these good 3-point shooting teams that did 36% or greater. The Warriors 3-8 to the spread at home. And the division, they can't cover against the division, just 1-8 to the spread against the division this year. and they're not shooting the ball well against a Pacific division. So I'll look here at Phoenix here in this spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony's Picks Morning Show, guys. Just a reminder, you're getting our free picks, but if you want our best plays, just head on over to the site at Tony'sPicks.com. We're a multi-capper site showcasing top performers in the industry. Pick the links to the hot cappers and get signed up to our long-term passes. Chris Atkins, number 1 in the NBA for 2025, over 1,300 units of profit. So no better time to get on board here with Chris over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can see all our leaders here on the board. All right, let's continue here on as we move on over the college basketball card for tonight. It's action here. Not a whole lot. Not a big slate of games tonight, so we'll just cover it in one swoop. It looks like they're playing everything at 7 Eastern. Not really everything at 7 Eastern time. So we got about a 14-game slate here, I believe, from college hoops. So we'll just give us what you got, Chris, here in college hoops.
Okay. First one up I'm going to look at is Butler, Georgetown. I'll take probably Butler there in that one. Another one I'm looking at, Akron and Kent. Let's see. Where I have my numbers on that one. 1 second. Akron and Kent State. Looking at the over in that one. That one's at 7 o'clock. I'll just look at what those guys are doing. And then the last one I've got here on the slate is the Purdue game. And I would just take over in that one. I know the total, I think we're sitting at 146 early. Indiana, Purdue. Yeah, either way, 146 is what I had it at. But I don't know if it may have jumped by now. But I'd still take the over in that one.
And there from Chris, say what I think here about some of these games here. I'll be looking here at Penn here. A change of favor from Brown to Penn. I agree on that move here. Looking at the Quakers, been shooting very good in the Ivy, just 49%, covering 3 of their past 4. And the Brown Bears have not been in good defensive form, giving up 51% shooting to Ivy League schools. So I'll look at Penn in that spot. I'll also light here with Columbia. What's going on with Harvard? And there, Harvard used to be really, really good in that Ivy League. But, man, they've really slipped off this year. A team that turns the ball over, can't make their free throws, and struggling defensively here in the Ivy League. Columbia has hit the threes and they shoot the inside. A team that forces turnovers defensively and hit 50% of their shots at home and defends very well. Crimson has not shot the ball very well in conference play. I like Columbia in that spot. And what else I have in here in this slot? Siena and Marist. I'll go ahead and take Marist, lay the points here with them. Marist is tops in defensive efficiency in the Metro Atlantic, defending the paint very well, holding teams just 39% inside, and they shoot the ball very well in the paint, 55% shooting from 2 for this Marist Red Foxes team. And you look over their past 5 games, they're holding teams with just over 36% shooting. The Siena Saints in this period of 5 games giving up 46% shooting. I'll look at Marist here, laying the 5.5. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show. Well, we got you here. Yeah, the Quakers. There, we got you through the show here. Well, we don't have our hockey guys here today, so you'll have to check the happy hour to get some hockey from Rod and Company there. So be sure to check it out here on the Tony Morning Show, because we have our live show here at 9:30 a.m. Eastern times, and then we have our happy hour Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Rod will be back for that with his guests on the show. And of course, I know we've got we'll have hockey for you in that series. Let's see what we got for sale over at Tony'sPicks.com right now. Heading into a pretty good weekend of action here with a lot of college hoops, NBA on the board. We're still a couple of weeks away from that All-Star break. It isn't coming anytime soon, but we'll take a look at what Chris has for sale. Chris is putting up some impressive numbers over at Tony'sPicks.com. I told you he's the top unit leader for the year in the NBA. Also, overall, put up over 800 units of profit over at Tony's Picks. We'll put Sean here on the board here. See what you got for sale, Sean, over at Tony'sPicks.com. Great units production here in the NBA this year.
Yeah, so I've got 3-pack again, 2 in the NBA today, and 1 in college basketball that I really like. Wrapped them up in a 3-pack for you guys. That's how everybody's been liking them lately. All 3 picks for one price, and of course, use that promo code TonyT at checkout, save you 15% off of it. And then hop on something long term. We had a line move last night with Memphis that we were watching. So when injuries and stuff like that happens, with Ja being out and things like that, or different ones, we update those things, put those plays in, and make sure that you get the best line and the best number. And then hop on something long, with not only long term, so you get everything. Like Tony said, we got a ton of college basketball ramping up here as we head towards March Madness. Got a lot more NBA coming. Of course, you have the one game with the Super Bowl headed up, but and then baseball's on the horizon. But also 2-for-1 capper, man. That's a good thing. Everybody's on the leaderboard that's usually here. We've got Ron Hahn, he's on there, my guy, and Ron, Solo, Sean, of course, unit leader Tony. We're all on there. So 2-for-1 capper, man. Let 2 people put money in your pocket is a good way to go. And so definitely a lot of action coming up as we ramp into February with more college basketball and more NBA, and I'm just going to keep trying to stay on top of that leaderboard in the NBA and keep pushing out the good numbers here.
That's right, guys. Got on board here with Sean over at Tony'sPicks.com. You see great unit results here from the NBA, from Sean having a great here. You can see the season here, 824 units of profit overall. And, of course, he has his plays up for you right now. 3-pack of best bet from the NBA, best bet from college hoops. And remember, all these one-day passes are profit guaranteed. They must turn a profit, or the amount you purchased will be credited back to your account for side credits. That's profit guarantee. Or you can go opt for the long-term passes. Those are not profit guarantee, but they're sold at a much better value there, because instead of paying per pick, you get everything Chris has to offer premium-wise in that time period. Select from 3-day to 7-day, all the way to 1 year. So get on board with Chris over at Tony'sPicks.com. And, of course, includes the late steam plays. Of course, we get our members' plays in by 11 a.m. Eastern time. But then again, we handicap through the day and night, looking for plays for you throughout the betting cycle. And then we put plays in between 10 minutes and 2 hours for our game time. Those are emailed directly to your inbox using the email that you provided when you sign up for your service. Late Steam, a feature that I don't see anywhere else but Tony'sPicks.com. So go ahead and get on board with Chris. All right. I've got a best bet on the board right now here from the end from college hoops. Been doing great with my best bet. Hit another one yesterday with Portland coming in with that win again, as they seem to be getting together right now here against a Orlando team that had that long trip from Orlando up to the Pacific Northwest. And, of course, they've had their struggles on the road, as we've known throughout the season. All right, we got you through that. And we'll let you know that we're with you here every day with our live show here at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure you like, subscribe, and set those notifications. If you happen to miss a show, just go back to our YouTube channel where our live tab is, and you'll be able to watch the replay of the show. Of course, if you need some help with the late games, always check out the replay, because it always sits there for you on the live tab. And, of course, Monday through Friday, Rod will be here with the happy hour. We'll have his guest on the show going through the card. You'll get your NHL picks. I know they're on the happy hour. So Rod hosts that. So make sure you guys tune into that. Also at Tony'sPicks.com, we have a lot of on-demand content. I post my on-demand content, many of the cappers do. So let's see what you got over on the Tony's Picks on-demand video section and your plans for the weekend.
We've got you a video out today, like I said, on the Bucks and the Spurs game, a little bit deeper dive into why we took the Bucks there, so you can check that out for sure. And then as we go into, I'll have more NBA, and then you guys know that I try to do some college basketball videos for the SEC. I'll be putting those out as well as we start getting more of that, and then just continuing to cover the NBA, trying to give you guys the best information I can on those. If I see a good game to give you a free pick on, I'll definitely give you the right information there. And just going to continue to put out the good content.
That's right, guys. So check us out over on the Tony's Picks morning over on Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Lots of great content up there as well. And I just want to let you guys know, of course, we've seen Ron Hahn in the chat. Just give Ron Hahn a shout out here over at Tony's Picks. You can always find his plays over there. And we can see, what did I do with the share screen? Oh, here we go, share screen. So we got Ron up there, also part of the Tony's Picks morning team here. as he runs the chat for us here. You can see coming off a really good year in the NFL. Also, you can just check out his numbers here. Great year in the NBA. So Ron right now has a guaranteed best bet. Ron Hahn, you see him in the chat. Best bet in the NBA. So you can get on board with Ron Hahn, having a great year in the NBA. So get on board with Ron Hahn over at TonySwix.com. Appreciate all his work in the chat there with you guys. All right, we got you through that. I told you I have my best bet on the board right now. So check me out over at TonySwix.com and check out the archive. All right. That's going to do it for our show today. Thanks for everybody for joining us in the chat. Appreciate everyone's contributions. And again, we'll be back here again tomorrow here with picks here from the NBA. We'll also pick some big college basketball card, as we know, on Saturdays this time of the year as we get closer. Well, flipping the calendar to February, that means we're closer to March. So the madness, we're approaching the madness here. We'll be ready to roll here more NBA for another couple weeks before the All-Star break. And then we'll get you some more, and we'll get some action on the ice tomorrow for sure. That's going to do it here for the show, guys. Everything to say, Chris, before we go?
I was gonna do. I forgot. I have a parlay wrote down. I think I missed it. But I was just 3-team here in the NBA. I just made a note about it. Pistons, Raptors, and Pelicans for 3-team parlay for you guys in the NBA.
There we go from Chris. I'll give you my parlay here from the NBA. I like the Pistons with the Sixers. I like the over in the Celtics and the Pelicans. All right, we got the parlay. And thanks for reminding me. There you got the parlay. And all right, that's gonna do it here for this edition here of the drive-thru. For this edition of the doing too many shows. For this edition here of the 26 Morning Show. Again, we'll be live again tomorrow here at 9:30 a.m. East time. Stay tuned for the happy hour, 5 p.m. East time today with Rod. We're going to wake up. Bye, guys. You guys make it a winning Friday. We're back tomorrow here on the 26 Morning Show.